What's the word, Squad 11? Appreciate y'all tapping in. Thanks for showing love. Today, man, you know, I have been looking for some good anime games to play, man. Shout out my boy Killer Blue, man. He put me on Cold Vein and stuff. I haven't played it yet, but he kind of let me know, what it was about. But man, I got to wondering, like, dang, man, why hasn't there been a new Jump Force? As y'all know, I'm a big Marvel Rivals fan. And in my heart of hearts, I would love for NetEase to, come with their own anime version of Marvel Rivals. I think they'd be really good at it. Obviously, they got a lot on their plate. They're dropping some other games. I'm not sure if Ananta is canceled, but somebody told me that that's kind of on the shelf. They had a projected date, but I'm a big fan of anime. Obviously, we Squad 11 out KenpachiG, so we gonna have those anime ties as well as gaming. But man, I guess let's take this opportunity to look at what what happened with Jump Force before we can try to figure out when some of these mainline games are coming, man. Let's check this video out, man, by Chewy Dog 1. Shout out to him, man. Let's check it out. Let's check out the history of Jump Force first and why it was so apparently bad. I kind of enjoyed it, but yeah, there were some bad attributes to it.
Back when I was a wee little idiot of a child, the quality of any anime I watched relied exclusively on how powerful the protagonist was. You see, back in middle school, I was really into Naruto. Look at this, I still got my little plastic kunai. But it would tick me off whenever I'd talk to any of the other kids about it, and they'd be all like,
"Oh, he can't beat Goku though. He can't beat Goku though."
I don't give a fuck. Funny. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, shout out to bro. He pretty damn funny, man.
50th anniversary, and to celebrate, they had something big in mind. Something you might wanna jump for. Something that might force you to go grab your wallet. E3 2018. A new trailer by Bandai Namco and... No way, is that Naruto? In real life? One Piece?
Not gonna lie, when I seen that trailer, I was pretty stoked about it. When I seen the map, it was lit. It was lit.
No way this is happening. Holy shit. Look at how all the cop cars are destroyed and stuff. That's how you know this is serious. Holy shit. Naruto in New York City. And is that Luffy on the American flag? This was Jump Force, the anime crossover fighting game to end all anime fighting games. You don't even have to make any more anime fighting games after this. Just play Jump Force. People were hyped.
For the record, Dragon Ball FighterZ is awesome. Awesome. I bought it on a different system. I need to try to import it or something, man. I missed that game. Lit.
I am hyped.
The game looked sick. The game looked ambitious. You also got to remember that this was 2018. Demon Slayer's success has made it legally and socially acceptable to show outward interest in this game. The second trailer came out, the game looked epic. This one guy in the comments said, "They all look like they're oiled up." Gon is like 10, you sick fuck.
They did look oiled up. No diddy.
I remember talking about this game with a friend at the time who was planning on getting it, and I told him, there's only one final roster announcement before the game comes out, and I'll only get the game if it's like Dio or some shit. It was an announcement for Dio or some shit.
Parents, if your child plays Roblox, listen up. You could qualify for up to $300,000 or more in compensation.
In fact,
if your child was sent sexual images or material,
they did, in fact, launch Dio, for the record.
Games always live up to the hype. I have never once in my entire life seen a game that did not live up to the hype. All they need to do now
that
is
was
not
bad.
fuck it up.
That was bad.
They fucked it up. Pretty much immediately after the game came out, public sentiment towards the game plummeted. People were not happy.
What's up, gang?
Was not happy. At launch, the game sold around 78,000 copies in Japan alone. That sounds like a lot at first, but a month earlier, Kingdom Hearts 3 released, which sold almost double the amount of copies.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I say double? I meant 8 times the sales. Okay, I know that's like comparing a Ford to any other car, but come on. This was supposed to be the anime fighting game of all.
Now the hype was there, obviously, but you know there had been a different version, right? Before that, if I'm not mistaken, that was out in Japan, right?
All time. And those launch numbers were not cutting it. The reviews weren't much better either. The game is sitting at a 56 on Metacritic, which is worse than Mort the Chicken. Imagine getting mogged by Mort the Chicken. So what happened? Well, let's start with something superficial. The graphics. Usually, I don't really talk about graphics because they aren't really an aspect of games that really matters to me all too much. But with the Jump Force, it's worth talking about because the game looks like this. Look at this shit. This shit looks like Super Mario in real life. This shit looks like Mario in Unreal Engine.
Alright, so for the record, man, Jump Force back then is what Nintendo Switch games look like now.
5. This is what Dragon Ball will look like in 2013. For some reason, only God knows why, the geniuses behind this game decided the best art style for their anime crossover fighting game was this goofy looking faux realism that makes every character just look awful. This looks like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but instead of a fucked up, twisted, desolate 1-1, we have Los Angeles on a Tuesday. I understand that this was always going to be a bit complicated choosing an art style because even though all these characters are coming from anime and manga, they still have their own art styles, color palettes, shading. You know, because the original characters, they weren't all created by the same mangaka. They were created by a whole bunch of different people. But who at Bandai Namco was like, guys, we need to do the Smash Bros. Brawl realism. That game looks fucking awesome. And it will continue to look awesome in 20 years because everyone knows realistic graphics always age far better than stylistic graphics. Just look at some of these characters. Ew! It was never a deal breaker for me the same way it was for some other people, but it's just ugly.
Yeah, I think they could have did a better job graphically, but they were trying to appeal to, you know, a wide demographic. You know, if you would have went cell shading, things of that nature, you know, you probably wouldn't have caught some of the Nintendo loyalists. You know, but I think, you know, the graphics, in my opinion, were the least of the concern with this game. But, you know, people like what they like.
And a little soulless, too. Like, they're not even trying to appeal to their core audience. You know, anime fans who might like if the game looks a little more animated. If I got to pick an art style, I think they should have just embraced the differences between different styles. Make it look like the Spider-Verse movies or Gumball. Make each character as faithful as possible to their most iconic art style and colors, and then it might look kinda cool seeing those art styles clash. That would also fit into the whole theme of this game.
I do agree with that. I just think that at the time it was decent. Now, if they were to ever come with another Jump Force, you know, I believe they would incorporate these elements.
Game being all worlds colliding and all that. But enough dilly-dallying. I think it's about time we jump right into this puppy. So the first thing we get launching this game is the intro cutscene, which is the same as the E3 2018 trailer. But after that, we get to make our own character. Because yes, not only is Goku coming to Chicago, but me, myself, I get to be in the Jump Force. When creating a character, you're given 4 options for body types. A martial arts body, a pirate body, a ninja body.
The character creation was horrible, bro. Let's keep it real. It making me miss this game, though, man. Some games, you know, as far as like certain elements of the game, you miss them. I mean, just because they're horrible.
And a samurai body. Supposedly, these are supposed to change your fighting style, but we'll get into that later, so I just chose samurai. The character customization is, I mean, it's alright, I guess. You get these little sliders for your body that don't do anything, and I kinda wish there were more normal hairstyles. But you know what? It's okay. I got all the funkiness out of my system when I played Ark. I can deal with a more toned down character creator.
Shout out to the Ark players. If y'all remember, I was streaming Ark for a while, man, and then just recently, like they wiped out. You know, the Ark players know this, but they wiped out like 20 of my teams. 5 or 6 of the structures me and the squad had built. Yeah, so after years of playing this game and not even really getting off the island, I finally uninstalled.
After mullying it over for a bit, I decided to make Isaac from The Binding of Isaac. After creating our character, we are dropped into Jump Force HQ. I think this was supposed to be a big social hub where you can interact with people and show off your custom characters. But in 2022, only 3 years after the game launched, the game's servers were shut down and the game was delisted from digital stores. The only reason I can make this video now is because I'm a few unfortunate enough to still have this game on Steam. The HQ is so weirdly ominous when it's empty. I have vague memories of it being packed with people running around, but now it's just...
The HQ was horrible, bro. Horrible. The whole little setting for that was just horrible.
Now it's a ghost town. There are these NPCs that aimlessly run around, but it's not the same. This hub acts like a main menu. To get to different modes, you go and talk to different people. Personally, I've always found these kind of hubs cumbersome, but frankly, this is the least of Jump Force's issues, so I'll let it slide for now. I would have liked to showcase how good the online multiplayer is in this game, considering how important that usually is to the longevity of a fighting game, but if they were shutting down the servers so soon into the game's lifespan, I think that tells you all you need to know. Fortunately for me, Steam does have a feature called Remote Play, where you can stream the game to friends and have them play local split screen through the internet.
I didn't know about that. Y'all know I usually play off Xbox. There's been a couple games I played on Steam, but that option makes me want to, you know, jump heavy into Steam like that because that's a good option. I didn't know about that. Did y'all know about it? Type it in the chat if y'all knew about that.
Experience Japan on a journey customized to you.
So yeah, I mean,
explore futuristic cities.
As y'all can see, a lot of elements for Jump Force are like, I don't know, they shouldn't have been there.
That's pretty good.
The hub is also where you go to talk to different NPCs to play through the story missions. Oh, that's right, the story. Oh, you guys are lucky I haven't talked about that yet. So, you don't think Goku and Joe...
Please don't talk about the story. Please. We're hoping for another one day. Please don't talk about the story.
Taro and others just so happen to bump into each other at the quickie, right? No, that's stupid. What actually happened is that these evil portals of malice and chaos opened up in the real world, and out came these evil demon guys, and now they're destroying our world, but... Goku! So now all the universes, including ours, and including, the anime universes, they're all jumbled together into one, like, mega cluster, and all the villains from all the shonen series are like, hey, let's all team up and make one supervillain squad. And we'll also use these venom...
The story was so rushed, bro, and just, like, cobbled together, man. Jesus Christ. I don't know what type of time restrictions they were under when developing this game, but geez, it seems like most of the assets were used to actually get the licensing for these characters and you know, focus on the actual gameplay, because the story, oh my god.
Venom guys, because they're evil too. And then every anime protagonist is like, holy shit, we need to make anime Avengers.
Much love,
and
much
we'll
love.
call ourselves Jump Force, because we are characters
Lalito?
from Shonen Jump, and we will protect every universe and defeat every villain and defeat every Venom. And that's about it for the story. If I had to use 2 words to describe the story in this game, it would be corny and lame. I'm not expecting like Red Dead 2 storytelling from my anime crossover fighting game, but you had all these characters and worlds to work with, and this was the best you can come up with? Jump Force? Jump Force? It just reeks of apathy. Like there's no passion or care put into any of the story or the dialogue.
Now I actually like the name. I like it. I mean, Jump Force kind of goes along with, it's a force of anime protagonists. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's get this fully set up here. But as far as the title, I think, maybe they could have got a better title, maybe not, what y'all think about the Jump Force title? I think it was decent, especially considering what the previous game was called, right? So that kind of just falls in line with it, in my opinion. He obviously feels different about it, but hey, that's what opinions are for, you know what I'm saying? Now let's get back to it, y'all. We had to set up TTS, by the way. That's what we called.
I mean, just look at how awful these cutscenes are. Look at
What's up?
Frieza
I'm doing
just
well,
floating
man.
away. How did they get away with this?
We're hopelessly hoping for another Jump Force, and kind of going through the history of, why the first one didn't get what it really needed. You know what I'm saying? As far as to be a successful game and stuff like that. I'm a big anime game fan, but I don't do, like, it seems like all the good anime games are on mobile.
KenpachiG says thanks for watching.
Super move, go! What the fuck?
Oh, and the dialogue. The dialogue is rough.
Oh,
Every
yeah, that was
character is
bad
just a
too,
shell
honestly.
of their actual character. Like, Luffy doesn't feel like Luffy. He feels like a Luffy parody. But it's not just Luffy, it's everyone. But I did want to give this game's story a proper chance. So I sat there and I forced myself to pay attention. And guess what? There basically is no story.
This
Almost every
definitely funny.
mission is the exact same. Detective Director Glover, this ugly bald fuck, who is the leader of Jump Force for whatever reason, is all like, we've detected an evil anime character, possessed by Venom, or just a normal villain, I don't know. Player character, you and one other good anime character will go fight them. And then afterwards, the possessed character is all like, oops, sorry guys, I was possessed. I will now join Jump Force because, I don't know, don't you guys have better things to do? The only thing I kinda like about the story is Light Yagami. Light is from Death Note, which is a series that, doesn't really have all too much action.
Shout out to Death Note fans, but I actually think in the game itself, he was so out of place. So out of place.
Especially not from Light. So he doesn't exactly fit in with the other characters like Goku, Jotaro, and Naruto. There's also the fact that Light is a narcissistic, mass-murdering sociopath, so at the beginning of the game when he's joining up with Jump Force, I was all like, that's kinda strange. What's up with that? At first I thought they were just too lazy and didn't care that this kind of hero thing doesn't really suit Light. But spoilers for a dead game you can't even buy anymore. At the end of the story, Light is revealed to be a twist villain. He's been doing all his brainy Death Note style shenanigans in the background all along.
I assure you, we were not paying attention to that aspect while we were playing this game. Just, we weren't. We weren't.
Because he's no longer interested in becoming god of his own world, he now wants to become god of every world. That is actually pretty cool, and is a good example of Jump Force using a character from one of its many series and using the premise of a big crossover between worlds to do something interesting and believable with one of its characters. But this only frustrates me more because clearly they can come up with something interesting, but they just choose not to bother with every single other character in this game.
An IQ of 85 to 115 is considered average in the U.S.
Cue the IQ ad, right? Right?
On the roster because it sure is a roster. The base game has 43 different characters, which is honestly not too shabby. Unfortunately, these picks are kinda whack. We got the big four, and each of them have more than enough characters. And then we got the JoJo's guys. We got the Hunter Hunters. Yugi is a super cool pick. I'm very glad he's in this game. But then we got shit like this. Who the fuck is Prometheus? Does he look familiar? Well, he...
Touche. Who the is this guy? He does kind of look like the guy off of the movie Prometheus, though, don't he? I mean, where is he? Oh, look.
Speak to him, David. Tell him we came, just like he asked.
Itai, kutum, brugtu, starsjasend. Ja hadden we staten, dat we kredastend. Waar wolle Deva?
Is that where they got him from?
Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and Dragon Ball. Even most of the unique abilities in this game work the exact...
Sorry, y'all.
I don't know, the cat from Madoka Magica into a fighter. Oh, it's not published by Shonen Jump, never mind. Also, when I'm using multiverses as an example of doing something right, that's a really bad sign. The only thing weirder than the roster in this game is the map selection. Actually, no, I take it back. Jump Force only has incredible maps. Why? I can't seem to pick my favorite. I think my favorite map is Los Angeles. No wait, New York City. No wait, Hong Kong. No wait, Mexico. Just the whole country of Mexico, I guess. Actually no, it's San Francisco. Actually no, it's Paris. No wait, there's 17.
So they were just all carbon copy? I don't remember that being the case. They were all just carbon copies? I don't think so. I thought the maps were pretty good.
Stages in this.
They just needed more realism as far as like how Sparking Zero is. You know how you could just you could destroy, you know, certain parts of the map and stuff. That's what they needed.
Game. And this is where they could have gotten really creative. Think of all the cool set pieces that come from shonen series that would have made for really cool maps. But for some reason, half of them are just real-life cities. That's right, I'm picking up the anime crossover fighting game because I really want to fight in New Zealand. I hear that is a great place for a brawl. Like, I get the whole point of the game is the whole merging of the anime multiverse in our world, but dude, half of them? I can promise you, from first-hand experience, LA is not that gas. Now, a Toronto map, on the other hand, hey, you wanna know what's funny? Guess which series every other non-real world map comes from? That's right, Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball. I bet you're expecting me to say Bleach, but no, they couldn't even make a single Bleach map. It's just Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon.
Squad 11, yeah, they were. Where's the Soul Society map? Where was the Soul Society map? You got 30 Bleach characters. Nah, I think it was like 10. Nah, it was probably like 8 or something. I don't know. It was a lot of Bleach characters. Where was the Soul Society map at? That's my question.
Dragon Ball now. Bleach? Bye-bye, Bleach. You're not making the cut anymore. Dude, what if Super Smash Bros. Only had Mario, Kirby, and Zelda maps? How lame would that be? I don't even get it. Like, if the Jump Force devs loved their real-world maps so much, why didn't they just double up? Like, you could have had an Egypt map that doubles as both a JoJo's map, but also just another real-world map. How do you miss that opportunity? But it gets even weirder. Because of the universe merging shenanigans, there are different anime references scattered around the real world maps. For example, in the background of the New Zealand map, you can see the Black Whale, which is a ship from Hunter x Hunter. Okay. On one hand, that's a reference to the Succession War arc, which is an absolutely goated arc. I love that arc, and it will probably never get animated, so seeing a reference to it in this game is cool as hell. But on the other hand, if you wanted to make a plain beach map with a big reference in the back to Hunter x Hunter, just make a Hunter x Hunter map.
Yeah, they did have a Hunter x Hunter map.
Let's go.
All right, let's talk about the combat, because you guys know I saved the best for last. Let's start with the pros. For one, the game is very flashy. Even if I don't like the art style all too much, a lot of the moves in the game are admittedly...
Alright, so he's going over that. Let's check this out from President Rose. He's hinting at a new...
You know, I've always found it strange. People really want to save money, but are so willing to toss their hard-earned coin into a 3-foot pool of disappointment.
I haven't. Let's see.
The GOATs are announcing a new game February the 16th. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me show you. Official CyberConnect 2 Naruto Storm DBZ Kakarot will announce their next game on February 2026. Fans are speculating about an announcement of a Jitsu Kaisen game or a new Jump Force game. Official, a new game will be announced on February 16, 2026. By CyberConnect 2. I love a crossover mix several universes, Jump Force style. New JJK video game by CyberConnect 2. CC2, best known for Naruto Ninja Storm, DBZ Kakarot, and many more. CEO Hiroshi recommends fans to watch Jitsu Kaisen anime and tease an announcement on January 9th, the day JJK Season 3 begins broadcasting. Now, as you can see, we are getting another game announcement February 16th from CyberConnect 2. Now, like I said, if you don't know who they are, bro, these are the people that made other anime games such as Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Demon Slayer, Naruto Storm. They are the creators of those games. Now, the two...
Okay, so whatever this game is, it's going to be semi-good, right? Because that's a really good development company.
Games that's in the air right now is a Jitsu Kaisen game or an anime crossover game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all know which one I want, bro. Y'all know which one I want, bro. I'd rather have the anime crossover game, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, dude. I do think JJK fans need another game, bro.
The anime crossover game is what we want, and we want one done right? That's President Rose. Check him out. Let's see here. Now, a lot of people... outside of Jump Force, a lot of people are excited about this. I just actually, let's see. How far am I in this anime? Gachi Akuda is planning a game. Here's the trailer.
Always working to keep pets healthier as long as possible. Hills. Science does.
Let's check it out. Got the trash beast there. Graphics look solid. There's no actual gameplay here. Graphics do look solid though. The cleaners. squad there. Whew. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. It looks lit. It looks lit. If y'all haven't watched Gachi Akuta, check it out. It's blowing up. What's it been out a year now? Just one season. So that's another one of the anime games people are really excited about. I need to finish it. I need to finish that first season. But back to Jump Force here. Yeah, this is what we really want, man. Let's see here.
A track record. We already know Dragon Ball is going to be epic in big 2026. A lot of us fans like to call it the year of Dragon Ball, especially at the end of this month, January, with the new upcoming events called Genkidama Matsuri. They already have planned out two
Rakudo Fox on YouTube. Check him out.
Major project announcements for us, as well as a new Dragon Ball video game announcement. But anime as a whole for 2026 seems very promising. We already have Seven Deadly Sins Origins planned to release later this month, January. Then next month in February, early February actually, we're going to be getting the third installment of the One Justice franchise, My Hero Academia Oz Justice. We did receive some very interesting news yesterday. Massive thanks to Shonen Games for sharing. CyberConnect 2 is going to be dropping their newest video game title soon, at least making an announcement. So we'll go ahead and break down all the details. But real quick, if you guys aren't familiar with the legendary developers CyberConnect 2, let's just do this quick breakdown. I would say they're most noticeably known for...
So a lot of people are pretty much going off of that CyberConnect tweet. Yeah, y'all know Ultimate Ninja Storm is pretty goated.
For their Hack series and Ultimate Ninja Storm series. Storm 4 dropped back in 2016. You already know they cook with the animations, the cutscenes, story mode, gameplay, very fun as well. It's just an all-around great time for anime gaming, I guess you could say, if you're a Naruto fan. But they have worked on other anime IPs such as Dragon Ball. This video game dropped in 2020. With each video game they drop, the developers as a whole company, CyberConnect 2, they get even more popular and popular. Usually when a new game drops, people just care about the video game, what the anime IP is, right? But CyberConnect 2 is so legendary that people care about the actual developers.
Yeah.
Now we're to the point where CyberConnect 2 is dropping a new video game, and
yeah, certain deals, like, I mean, obviously, who cares about, you know, most people don't care about the developers unless, you know, you're not a normie. But yeah, that video is certain deals, Larian, CyberConnect, you know what I'm saying? It's certain ones that you follow them, and just to see mine, another one for me is NetEase. Ever since pretty much they dropped Marvel Rivals and Where Winds Meet. I think they just published that, but they played a big role in Where Winds Meet. I actually haven't played that game yet, but you know, you can't ignore how big it was when it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people were really talking about it. Maybe not on the mainstream level, but everybody that was on it was on it.
Everybody is ecstatic and stoked, right? So that's epic to see.
Bilbo Baggins.
They also created Demon Slayer video games called Hinokami Chronicles. I think Hinokami Chronicles 1 dropped.
Yeah, so I just think
Return.
I'm of the mind frame that we may or may not get it. You know, it was a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths seeing that game go out like it did. You know what I'm saying?
Hinokami Chronicles 2 last year in 2025. But real quick, we do have a list of video games that they've created ever since they started. Again, most notably known for the Hack series. They created a ton of those. And the Ultimate Ninja series. Now, these ones right here are going to be the classic Naruto games back on the PlayStation 2, right? If you know, you know. Ultimate Ninja 3, outstanding video game. But they made many more. Azura's Wrath, that's another great one. Now, I don't think this new title is going to be an Azura's Wrath 2, even though that would be epic. I do think it's going to be anime related just because
So we see an extensive list of games that they've either developed, published, or collab with, you know, some of these other games, Bandai, you know, Square Enix, things of that nature. So if they were to make a Jump Force game, right, fingers crossed, it would be what it needs to be. They should definitely be the ones making it.
Of what they stated in the interview. They've even created a couple JoJo Bizarre Adventure games, a lot more Naruto. There's the Dragon Ball Kakarot's, Hinokami Chronicles, and their latest game is Hinokami Chronicles 2. Now, they do have 2 other video games in the works, Cecil and Tokyo Gates, but do keep in mind that the new upcoming title that they're referring to is not going to be any of these ones right here because it hasn't been announced just yet. So, going back to the interview, the whole points for today's video, we do have the sources down here. Source 1 from Gematsu and the second source from Famitsu. They're both basically the same. We'll go over the Famitsu one. Without further ado, make sure to drop a like on today's video, turn on post notifications, subscribe if you're new around here.
Yeah, man. Check him out. He's pretty seems to be pretty knowledgeable about development, the development stage. But yeah, man, all we can do is hope for the best. You know, I really enjoyed a lot of the gameplay with regard to Jump Force. Who knows if they'll ever bring another one out. I think all the anime fans want it. But there's a lot of success right now with regard to Sparking Zero, the My Hero Academia game. You got Gachi Akuda coming, which is, I don't think it's going to be an arena fighter. I think it's going to be more of an action RPG. Doubt it's going to have any MMO. But yeah, man, let's keep our fingers crossed, man. Shout out to all the anime fans. Shout out to Squad 11. Appreciate y'all tapping in on the content. As y'all can see, we starting to expand our horizons with some of the content we're putting out. So follow on Twitch KenpachiGofficial, KenpachiG74 on Instagram, KenpachiG. You type in KenpachiG, you'll find it. For those of y'all who've been wanting to get into the Facebook group, Squad 11 Anime and Gaming, type it in. We're going to get you in there ASAP, man. We over 240 members. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. We're going to be streaming some Divinity here in a little while. I'm going to get me a workout in, and then I'll be back at it, man. Much love to y'all, man. Hey, fingers crossed for Jump Force, man. Shout out to Squad 11. It's Kenpachi G. Bankai.